These sayings are part of a collection of Jesus' teachings known as the Sermon on the Mount. Despite being only 3 chapters long, its profound ideas and vivid imagery have resonated throughout history. You are the salt of the earth. You cannot serve both God and money. Remove the plank from your own eye before addressing the speck in another's. The sermon presents some truly challenging teachings. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, turn the other cheek to them. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And some of its teachings are particularly perplexing. If your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. However, the Sermon on the Mount is not a random assortment of Jesus' words. It's meticulously structured to facilitate memorization and reflection. The sermon is divided into 3 primary sections, the middle one itself divided into 3 subsections, and each of those further subdivided into 3. This intricate design highlights its thoughtful organization. At the heart of the sermon is the renowned prayer Jesus imparted to his disciples. But what does it mean for God's kingdom to come to earth? To understand this, we must recognize that Jesus was deeply rooted in Jewish tradition, having meditated on the Hebrew Bible, Israel's sacred scriptures which narrated the story of God and humanity. The scriptures spoke of God creating a harmonious world and appointing humans to govern it wisely. When humans rule with God's wisdom and love, bringing about justice and peace and ensuring abundance for all, that is when God's kingdom is realized on earth as it is in heaven. Achieving this is no simple task. Humanity often rebels, trying to build their own kingdoms based on their wisdom. God chose the Israelites, offering them his wisdom through the Torah, which means the teaching in Hebrew. Starting with Moses on Mount Sinai, God established a covenant with them. Why select just one family? The idea was for the Israelites to embody God's wisdom and thus become a beacon of his kingdom to all nations. However, by Jesus' time, God's kingdom seemed absent. Israel was subjugated under Roman rule. So, what went wrong? Why hadn't God's kingdom come? But as Jesus traveled through Israel's hills, he encountered ordinary people struggling to make ends meet. Most were poor and sick, having lost their land to Roman occupiers and burdened by heavy taxes. They felt powerless and despondent. Jesus reached out to these individuals, healing their ailments and proclaiming the arrival of God's kingdom. People gathered from far and wide to hear him. One day, on a hillside, Jesus declared that the dawn of God's kingdom was starting right there, among them. Absolutely. This is why the Sermon on the Mount opens with, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." Jesus was pointing out that God's presence and blessings were manifesting not among the wealthy or the powerful, but among those who felt broken and defeated. God's kingdom was emerging among the people standing right there. The Sermon on the Mount is carefully designed. It starts with Jesus bestowing blessings on his listeners. And these blessings are what we'll explore next.